Yeah, we're getting the analog inputs this time around from Frank to see how he manages to pull all of these movements.
All right, both players are off, and just yeah, the movement is mesmerizing. I got to keep my eyes off of Frank's hands because he's just really mashing those buttons like crazy. It is something to see. So we've got just solid boards on both players' sides. They're managing to avoid getting too much. Oh, I say that as Frank does what I think is a misdrop. It could
Yeah,
prove to be otherwise.
I mean,
I've learned never to assume, but that looks like a misdrop from here. Um,
unless he can bring all of that down somehow, but that's too much forethought, which I wouldn't be impressed if Frank does, but still, it's quite a few steps ahead.
yeah, he's going to need the double blue that comes up right here in order to keep that from being too much of a problem and having to build up at the end. He does get it, but that has allowed Packie to build up about a 9 virus lead so far. Uh, just you can't give Packie that kind of time. No matter who you are, it doesn't matter if you're number two on all the leaderboards. Packie will take something like that and just destroy you with it. I've been on the backside of it, and he looks ready to do just that.
Definitely. However, here comes Frank with this setup. It just takes away all of that in the bottom. He's only needing some red, and it's going to be difficult to go through it. However, he gets a double, which just is the solution to all of his problems. Both of them very close out of that level 10.
Yeah, within 4 seconds of each other. Packie's picking up a lot of good combo opportunities, no drop clears, and all of that. Frank is going to build up, get himself just a little bit of garbage, but in doing so, he's managing to bring in some really nice horizontals. He wants that as a fat log does get two horizontals, just not at the same time, and they're pretty much neck and neck again.
Yeah, definitely. And therefore, Frank showing us how to set up stuff that doesn't conflict with each other, which sometimes is a problem when you are trying to learn all of these setups and these fancy maneuvers. But that's exactly what you want to do, as you are seeing there from Frank. On the other side, Paki with these very nice setups to try and bring down that left side of his board needs a lot of red, however.
Yeah, I'd say both these players are quite a bit past the learning it phase, but that's one thing about this game is we're always learning something new. It's still a relatively young community, and even the top players are finding new ways to do just magical things. As we look onto Packie's side, he is down to his last 6 viruses. He would love to have had the horizontal going on over on the second row down there with his blues, but unfortunately, it's not going to work out for him. He's probably going to take both of these blues horizontally, just in opposite directions. And Dr. Mario gives him a double blue just to say, that's mean.
Yeah, Paki could have there set it up in a different way. However, he manages to get out of level 10 first, and Frank is just about 6, 7 seconds behind him. So still neck and neck at this point.
Yeah, in real time, it was only actually about 2 seconds.
Oh,
They are really really close. I just happen to be looking at the clocks for both.
yeah.
It's extremely close, and Frank did drop a beautiful combo earlier. I didn't get a chance to comment on it, but it was one of those things where you wonder where how he's got this kind of foresight. But that's Dr. Mario, and it's what these folks are so good at. Frank now with a lot of yellow blue on his top and mostly blue. Packy having the opposite problem. It's more red going on at the top of his. Both players within just a few viruses of each other. This is exactly what we expected to see.
Yeah, definitely. Frank on his board has a bit of a slant situation. I'm not sure. I see what he's waiting for. He's waiting for a double blue. However, that's tying up basically all of that right side. Could probably set up for more stuff down the line, but yeah, you have to start like thinking whether it's worth it. And I think that blue yellow is just going to trigger some stuff start opening up more of his board. As we see, on the other hand, Packing again in a situation needing some reds. However, he's going to get that beautiful horizontal to open up more of that lower part of the bottle.
Now, Packy's managing to really get down into the lower section of his bottle, as you said. He's you know he's got to be hoping. Oh, he's not looking for a double. He's looking for a triple down there. And now, wow, just it's beautiful. He's not even going to be red blue dependent because he's got that space on the left. He's out at a 534, and Frank dropping down some good combos as well. Let's see. There's a little bit of a time delay. He might actually be ahead. He is. He's out at a 532. So Frank ahead by about 2 seconds here on this board going into the final level.
Yeah, definitely. At this point, yeah, it's just who can actually make his board work the best because both of these just showing us, oh, those moves there by Frank is just setting up stuff there, so it drops beautifully once he figures out what to do. There we go. He's going to trigger oh so many viruses coming down there.
Wow, this is why I've given up on anything close to a record in this game, because there's people like that out there playing it. That was beautiful, and this isn't in the middle of a speed run where he's been playing for hours and hours, and this just happens to be the nicest one that he's done. This is live. This is Frank just going, yep, nope, I've got these pills here. I'm just going to set it up, and everything's going to be fine. That's There's just something magical about watching it. I
And it
almost feel
just
like a beginner again.
it shows the confidence he has in getting those setups because yeah, even on medium a little bit of an extra push here and there and the whole thing just becomes a nuisance rather than this magic stuff.
So again, we got about an 8 second delay. So it does look like Packy's going to be out first, but that's just on our screens. We're going to have to wait to see um, who's going to have the better time coming out of this level block. Packy with a beautiful setup there. He's got to be hoping for a couple more yellows. He's going to get them. There's one. There's two out of the 736. So now Frank needs.
The
Doesn't look like
yellows as
he's going to
well.
get it. Those yellows are not going to show up.
No, oh, so close
Out
to
of the
another tie.
740. So 4 seconds between the two of them. That was as good a match as we've seen today. And that's really saying something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both of these just keeping it this close at 4 seconds after going through. Well, what is 10 to 13 is once again four levels. However, it's more viruses that they have to deal with, and keeping it this close just talks to you about well the strength of both of these players. So it's going to be game number one for Paki, which I'm sure as you can see, he's starting to release some of that tension. But Frank has shown us that he can come from behind.
Yeah, you really want to have that first game in hand, regardless of if it's best of three or best of five. Both players have given us their readies, so now we're going to get that. 3, 2, 1, and pills. And they are just about ready to be off. There's Packy off, and Frank about 3 seconds behind.
And we see Paki already starting to see what he can do with these boards. It's interesting because he has horizontals all on the top line, and they're doubles. However, that means that there's less diversity on his board, which means yeah he has to leave some garbage here and there, but he's making work out of it.
Yeah, he's putting together these plays that again, I've been saying this about most of our players, but you notice these plays that are not beginner level plays that these guys are coming up with. These are patterns they've seen before. They're noticing, hey, I've got this pill here, this pill there. If I wait for just a second and not put it in the obvious place, it's going to work out. And that's really what we're seeing.
Yeah,
Now, as we look on,
it's oh
oh, go
good.
ahead.
I was gonna say it's just a game of memory and, as you say, pattern recognition, so they can know what to expect from the next box sometimes. And yeah, when you look into the next box, sometimes that's what's waiting for you.
As we look over at Frank's board, it's very slanted over to the right. He's got a lot going on in that right-hand column. He's got the pills to just knock that down, but that slope can really cause you a little bit of drop time. He has managed to get out of that, but there's that double red. I was going to say he's got that overhang over his red in column five. That would have been a problem if he hadn't seen that double red, but he did, and now he is going to get out of here pretty quickly. Packie on our screen is going to get out at a 154, and I believe it's going to be about a tie again as Frank's out at a 152. So again, even though we're seeing Packie finish first, Frank is the one with just the slight lead right now.
Yeah, definitely, and it's being just both of these bring in everything. As we've been mentioning, they are not even playing the same levels, so that means that they are facing different situations, and nonetheless, they are making the best out of it. And oh, I would have thought Frank was going to go for the double there, but okay, he's going to go from it from the other side and brings down a lot of that left side of his board.
Yeah, Frank's finding some very unique ways of putting all of this together. A lot of interesting drops. Packie has just a chunk of blue over on that mid right of his board, and really just going down from there. He's gonna find ways to get them in doubles, but even with that, that's really gonna put him behind a bit behind the eight ball to get through this level block, to get through this one particular section of his level.
Yeah, definitely. And at this point, Frank has even taken the lead, well, in real time, as he has about 5 seconds of advantage as well over Paki. So at this point, Frank is uh, is taking the lead, and he's going to be out very soon from level 11, and he's out at 328.
Yeah, Packie's not going to be too far behind him, but between these two players, this is as much of a commanding lead as you're going to see. Um, oh, and
Oh,
Packie has lost his visuals. We'll need to hear something from our
oh.
rules committee on what we need to do here. That looks like he had a little bit of a technical issue going on. Um, so we will stand by on that to get an actual confirmation from our rules team. Looks like his NES. Go ahead. I am getting word that we're going to have to wait to get a confirmation on this. What we're going to do, it is a technical difficulty. Looks like Packie's NES has just stopped on him. He's blowing into the cart. So hopefully that will fix it up. But I do believe we will need to stop the race once things are finished up. I don't know if this is going to go to Frank or if we are going to have to replay it. So we are awaiting final confirmation on that. On Frank's side, we do have a really nice level 12. Uh, he's going to be out at a very low five. It's going to be a good time. Um, Sorry, not a whole lot to say until we get confirmation of what we've got coming on with our rules. And if I had to take a guess, that's where John has gone. He is one of our staff here on the, or not one of the staff, but one of the folks that work with the tournament. So he will have an idea of what we're doing fairly soon for us. Mackie going for the rubbing alcohol, definitely a good choice. Um, That's what you want to do when you've got an issue with these older cartridges. So, giving a master class in finishing up his fixing up his equipment. Yep, Q-tip and rubbing alcohol, the best thing to do. Sounds like he must be listening to the chat. Yeah, we're gonna get a ruling for you there, Packy. Hopefully, we'll have it pretty soon. Frank making some pretty good time in this level 10 or level 13. Looks like he's gonna take this blue out horizontally, and uh, this is one of those times I wish I wasn't doing commentary by myself, but that's gonna be all right. Like I said, I'd rather have John looking up the rules for us and figuring out what we need to do. Hopefully, we're going to see Packy with that Dr. Mario title screen coming up pretty soon. Otherwise, we may have to hold, and we don't have any more matches because this is the one to determine who's going to be playing in the next match. But I'm sure we will come up with something
You
pretty
rang.
soon here.
I'll,
Ah,
I'll come
I
help
am
you
joined
out.
by Savage Octagon. How's it going, Savage?
Good. I was just in Packy's stream, and we have had glitches before in this case. So as soon as Frank is done playing, we will chat to Frank and give him the lowdown on what happened. And there are some options here as Packy's uh, nest starts back up again. He was using all of that. Um, was using all of that alcohol, and I know he went out into the hallway to scream. Probably, it's not the best thing for your game. As Frank is really bearing down here. Look at that. Did
Oh no!
miscount a
Oh, there he
little bit
goes.
there. Wow.
741
Oh,
is a great time too.
it
Oh,
is.
so we will get that from both these players here in just a moment. So I don't know if Frank's listening in the chat, but Packy did have a technical hardware glitch, and we will get confirmation on the rules from our rules committee as soon as we can get that from them.
Yeah, so the rules say that it's on the other player, in this case Frank, to decide whether we redo the race or whether he takes the win, because yeah, it's on him to see what he does. Okay, he's telling us that we're going to rematch, so
Okay.
that last match will not count. So we're gonna go into game number 2 for the second time.
All right. Well, I'll duck out. I'll let you guys finish this. I'll see you back for the finals.
All right, thanks, Savage. Yeah, I was actually going to offer Savage to sing a song for us while we waited to get Frank's response, but looks like we unfortunately won't be able to get to that. So, yeah, Packy saying that Frank is amazing. We have to agree. That is a good show of sportsmanship, and we appreciate you guys and this whole
Fine, Frank.
community. Yeah, this whole community is just full of really good people. So, this is exactly the sort of thing that we would expect from them. And Frank didn't even
I had to think about it. Yeah.
hesitate. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, then this community will want to give the other person a chance, and yeah, to show the best. That's how we want to win. It's not about whether we have these problems. That's not part of the RNG we have to deal. We already have too much.
Yep. So as chat's saying, yeah, we've got too much. You got too much going on whenever you're actually playing the game to pay attention to what's going on the stream. So no worries there as we get our 3, 2, 1 pills in the chat. And Packy has started, and yeah, you got to wonder if he's going to have an advantage here with this clean cart. It could be giving him better pills. You never know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. I don't think that's how it works, but
I mean, if I had known that's how it works, I would have also used a whole bottle of alcohol to clean mine.
yeah, as Betty has said, there's other uses for alcohol when you're playing Dr. Mario. Anyway, to what's actually happening on the screen. Packie has managed to build up some really good plays, but unfortunately, he's dealing with just droughts of different pill or different viruses on his board. Frank has still got quite a bit going on at the top. He does technically have the lead, but it's kind of hard to see that based on just how high up that right-hand side of his board is. He's going to knock it down quite a bit though here.
Definitely, he's doing a good job at keeping up. Both of them about 4 viruses from each other. Packie figuring out a way to play on that left side. He needs blue, but it's not coming, so he's doing a good job of playing on that right side. But eventually, he's going to need the help.
Yeah, those tuck plays are really going to be beneficial for his play style. We saw a really long tuck from Frank earlier. That is partially because Frank is playing on medium, so he is able to put stuff like that together as he puts down just another great combo. Packie, though, is no slouch when it comes to tucks either. Even though he plays on high and nearly never drops, never lets go of his down button, he still manages to get so many good tucks going on. And that is just some of the best of the beef tipping. Yes, I'm using my word in the stream as Frank is out at a 147, Packie out at a 201.
Yeah, I mean, both these just head to head in IRL, but it's the slight advantage there for Frank. As yeah, we're just gonna try and get through this. Pack, well, has a lot of yellow on that right side, which is going to be a bit of a problem. On the other hand, Frank has this slanted board, and he has a lot of red on the right.
Yeah, we're looking at two boards that have some similarities to them, but are extremely different. Boy, some of these setups for Frank, that's just so many pills that he's finding ways to use them, and just knocking it way down. You think that he's running a little behind, and then he goes, "No, I'm using every one of these. Thank you very much."
Yeah,
Packie's
definitely. Oh,
needing
go
that
ahead.
red blue or red yellow now. It's almost all that he's got left, and that's a time where that could really slow you down. Hopefully, he comes up with the pills that he needs to get that done.
And he comes with this setup. It's just that right side that's a bit stuck, but I'm sure Frank is going to figure out a nice way to get out of this, or rather get the luck to just set up for the yellow virus with that double yellow. As on the other hand, we see Packie getting stopped because he's not getting any red at this point, and he needs the red right now.
Yeah, red is definitely going to be his color that he's going to be needing the most. He's trying to put together this horizontal. He is going to manage to get it, and looks like he's going to put a vertical on his leftmost yellow, horizontal on the rightmost one. But he's really taking some drop time with this red, and he's cut off that the left hand side of his board. So he's just having to play a little bit more cautiously. Gets the pill, and he's out at a 408 with nearly a full line clear.
Yeah, but that was a rough endgame there by Pac. He wasn't getting the right pills, and boy, that's going to trigger you. However, we know how Packy takes that and just fuels him to try and bring it back in the last levels.
Yeah, you wouldn't like him when he's angry. I'll say that much. That's just Packy's way. Yeah, he may get behind one, but then he will just find a way to just blaze right through the next one. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes the distance, just like our last one did.
Definitely. Just a moment ago, Frank had a swim there with a red pill on column number 1. That was a very nice movement there by Frank, and I'm sure he's just waiting for the right pill to trigger on that left side, as he has some time to play on the right, and we will see how this goes down in. I'm sure in just a second. Okay, here comes the right
Yeah,
pill. Boom, that goes down. And he
yeah.
got the setup even for going lower from that.
I knew the red blue the yellow blue is what he wanted. He did ignore a couple of them beforehand, but now I imagine he's going to wait for a red yellow. Nope, he's going to wait for a red blue. and managed to make that work out. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get the fat log on the right-hand side, so it's going to be a little bit more work to get that knocked out. But Frank's got a little bit of cruising going on. He's going to need a couple more yellow and another red, and then he will be out of here. If he ever gets the red, there it is at a 551. Packie is going to be a touch behind, but not by too much as, oh no, he's going to have to dig out that. Nope,
Very
there
nice
it is.
sandwich in
Gets
there.
that double at a 614. So about a 20-second difference here. Oh, as Frank puts down, misdrops down there, we're going to see what it's going to take. That's very high up on the top of his bottle. It's one of those times where you're glad to be playing on medium instead of high. He does finally get that cleared up, but that's the sort of mistake you can't give Packie because he will take advantage of it.
Definitely. And at this point, Frank has a lot of yellow on the top line. It was a bit consecutive. However, he realizes and takes care of that pretty quickly. And now, yeah, it's just that spar on column 7 that he has at the moment. But I'm sure that he has already plans for that. As we see that double O, beautiful cross there by Frank.
I've been corrected in our chat that a monologue is what we're calling the bottom the full line clears now. I'm gonna have to get caught up on my Dr. Mario terminology.
Oh,
So
gosh.
on
Okay. I just
so
got it.
so on Frank's side, we have got so much red, and he really he's got the opportunity for a double on this yellow here on 7 and 8. Looks like that's what he's going to hang out for, but that's it's going to take some time to get there, and I don't know if that's what he's going to want to do, and he does abandon that. Uh, but here, this is level 13. He's down to his last 15 viruses. Packie is down to 16, and he is coming back with a vengeance. Uh, he is, as we said, just a few seconds behind on the time, so he's going to have to really kick it up another gear to get out before Frank does. But uh, either way, this is going to be a really good finish.
Oh yeah, definitely. It looked like Paki had the upper hand there a little bit, but Frank showing us that he has all of the plans set up, and he's just going to need another yellow, and he's
He
going to
gets
be
it.
out at an 8-12.
Yes, indeed. Uh, Packie is going to get a couple more reds, surely, and uh, gets his blue out and out at an 829. So still a couple of good times. We've got about a 17-second difference there, and that is 1-1. So again, these players are going to make it a best of 3 now.
Definitely, we have a new match. I mean, that was another showing of how good both of these players can go. Just keeping it very close until the end, but Frank with that beautiful end game, taking it at the there at the end, very consistently. So we're gonna see game number 3 now. I'm pretty sure both of our players ready to jump into it. Yes, they are, and we're just gonna wait for the countdown now.
So we saw Packie with a stretch. I didn't see the big gulp come out, so I'm a little concerned about what this next game's going to have for him. But we do have our 3-2-1 pills in chat, and Packie is on, and Frank is on. So a couple of really nice boards, good opportunities for doubles on both of them. Packie's going to be needing some red help pretty soon, as he has just cleared out the last red on his top line for a bit. Frank, on the other hand, has a very diverse board, except that he's going to be missing yellow pretty soon. But wow, what a combo to get that board moving.
Yeah, definitely. And he has a bit of a slant situation, or rather like a V situation on his board. However, he's just waiting for the right pills to work on that right side, and he has the time for it as he has still some stuff on the left. On the other hand, Paki has a lot of yellow on the top line, and that's what's slowing him down a little bit. This double yellow definitely going to help bring that down a bit.
Yeah, Packie's definitely got a barge going on, and that's not what you want to see. He's got no access to these bottom pills, and he could really be making some progress with them if the doc would just give him the parts that he needs. Looks like he's gonna have an opportunity for a lightning bolt, decides not to take it, and you know what? It's a swag move anyway, so not really going to be necessary. He is going to get some good pieces going on out here. We are hopefully going to get Frank back. I know Frank, by the way, is in Japan, so that's one of the reasons that his stream is so hard for us to keep moving here. But
Yeah,
hopefully,
Frank
we
was
will
out.
have him.
Yeah, Frank was out at about a 127. So yeah, we're just gonna have him back in just a moment as Paki is out at the 153.
Yep. Uh, just some good play going on here from Packy. He's going to try to get that. There it is, that long row going on the right side of his board. Frank here at a 214, 215, and we just about got him caught up. Um, and here in just a second, we will know exactly where he is. But looks like he is making as good a progress as he has been. Uh, Packy, meanwhile, manages to just managing to play really well. He's got a couple of viruses that are sitting up top of his board. He'll want to get those kind of prioritized, and looks like he does. I'm sure he's waiting on red yellows to make that double happen on his column 6, and that is exactly what he gets. So there's the second one, and that is one of the better double opportunities on his board.
However, on the other hand, Frank, the we can see him. He has only 3 viruses left on his board. So yeah, he's running away with this. Okay, now we have him back. He only has that 1 virus, and he's out at a 323.
323 is a just flying time for these levels so far. Back he drops down a beautiful combo that allows him to be within one piece of ready to drop those blues down. If he's going to lose this one, it's not going to be for lack of good play, uh, as he is 2 reds away from finishing up this level 11. He is out at a 352.
So about 30 seconds there by of advantage for Frank. I'm sure he wants to take the lead now in this best of 3. Well, that they have come to. So yeah, he's doing so far a great job at that. Coming up with these setups. I'm not sure if those yellows are going to be used for something. I'm almost sure he's just waiting for the red yellow to bring that down eventually. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there it goes. He did have some red garbage that I thought he was going to find a way to use, but decided better of it. He just didn't end up with the opportunities that he was looking for. Meanwhile, on Packy's side, again, another little bit of a barge over on the left-hand side. Not as problematic as the one on his level 11, but it is kind of preventing him from getting too far down. He is working his way down out of that, though, and may not be catching all the way up. Looks like he's actually within 10 viruses, but it's still, again, it's not for lack of good play. Both these players are really just playing some lights out Dr. Mario right now.
Oh, definitely. At one point, both of them were very close, about 4 or 5 viruses from each other. However, Frank had just cranked it up to 11, and now he's just with those 2 viruses, and he gets the pill that he needs. He manages to attack. He's out at a 521, which is just blazing for these 3 levels.
We've got some good players going on right here, and I honestly, if I were DM Hero, I'd be watching this and going, oh dear. But you know what? He is also a really good player, so whoever he has to face up against, it's going to be a good match because we've just seen some great Dr. Mario going on tonight or today, and that's it's just an amazing community full of players who really, really know how to make this game work and sing for them.
Definitely. And now Paki finally gets that red and yellow to crank that combo out and finally opens up that left side. He still needs some specific pills to get out of there, but he gets that red yellow to start setting up. Now that all red yellow is going to be very helpful, and he doesn't have to forget that right side.
So he is out at a 628, but that is unfortunately for him not going to be likely enough to be able to catch Frank. Frank is just blazing through this level 13. Um, where we're seeing him on a stream is about 15 seconds of clock difference between the two of these players, and he is, we're looking at 30, 40 viruses ahead. That's quite the advantage, and I think at this point, Packy just needs to just take a deep breath and get ready to make game 4 just as good as game 3 and all of our other games have been so far.
Yeah, definitely, and it's been just both of these trading blows. Of course, Frank just being a little faster in this game number 3, and yeah, he's about to get out of level 3. I don't think there's really anything that Paki can do at this point, but as you say, yeah, just prepare. And yeah, that double blow is going to make it. He's out at a 727.
727, holy cow, what a time.
Okay,
So
let's check about those times. Okay, it's not the best time, but it's on the top 3. So there you go. That's Frank bringing it for to be in the podium at this point.
yeah, no shock there. I'm sure he's joining Packy on that because, if there is a hot time, Packy is on the board.
Well,
Uh,
actually, it's Influx who has the other 2 on over
ah,
him. Yep.
well, I'm sure the second Packy finds that out, that will change pretty much immediately. So, in case you're wondering why we haven't seen Frank yet this year, as we said earlier, Frank is in Japan, and he has stated earlier this year that he pretty much has to wait till daylight saving time for our time to be close enough to his that he could actually play with us. That might actually be affected by the new bill that's out in the U.S. Congress about daylight savings time. There is a bill out there to make it daylight saving year round, and who knows, that might actually affect whether or not Frank can play with us more. So who knows? We may be getting a full time Frank if that works out.
And then Paki finally gets out of there. I mean, not
Oh
for
dear.
lack of his play, but yeah, just a few rough levels there that, yeah, there's not much more that anyone could do.
So GG's to both players. Frank warning me that, or letting me know that daylight savings actually makes it harder for him. So, or it pushes
Oh,
him
okay.
earlier. Gotcha. So I I haven't looked up what time it is over in Japan right now, but that doesn't surprise me too much. But yeah, I agreed. Exact same that Frank being able to play Dr. Mario should be a really important reason for passing this bill.
Yeah, definitely. But hey, we're glad that this gives us the chance to see him in action and that he makes the time for it.
Thanks, Wing Fryer, for that. It is 7:45 in Tokyo right now.
Right, so we have readies and we have the countdown. We're gonna be off in 3, 2, 1, and pills.
All right. So normally it's at this point that we talk about how the boards look for our players, but honestly, these two players, it doesn't matter how the board looks, they're going to find ways to make it look magical. So uh, with Frank's side, we
Oh,
see what looks like a misdrop.
yeah,
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a pain uh, as he's
it
tapping
happens to
away
everyone.
at his controller. Um, so that's given Packy just a little bit of an advantage, just a couple of viruses, but Again, you got to be careful with what advantage you give Packy ever because he will take it and he will run with it.
Yeah, Frank with the interesting setup with the horizontals. I'm not sure if that if that double red was a mistake or something like that, but yeah, it's we can get into his set. We're gonna have him back in just a second, as we see on Pack side how he has a lot of yellow needs, and it's coming sparsely, but coming nonetheless.
Yep. And unfortunately, it's not coming with a red, which is what he would really like for this column 7. There it comes down now. Uh, but yeah, he's finding ways to make it work because that's just what you do in Dr. Mario. You find ways to make it work. Uh, as we continue to try to get Frank back, there he is. Um, it looks like he does have a bit of an advantage going out of this level 10. Uh,
Meanwhile, Paki trying to figure out how to take those two yellows all together. Perhaps waiting for a yellow red to make things happen. But yeah, it's struggling him a little bit.
Frankie is out at 2 minutes flat. Packy's going to be right behind him depending on what pieces he gets. This double red uh, did manage to give him a bit of a hand, but he's going to have to unblock these blues before he will be able to use those at all. He
Yeah,
does.
but he gets this. Oh, very nice. They're
That
taking
was a
out
nice
one of the
clear.
viruses.
But about a 28, 30-second deficit that he's going to have to make up now.
It's not insurmountable. We've seen how close Paki has been able to bring it back just in these matches. But yeah, it's Frank who is starting to run out with it a little bit at this point.
Yep, but Packy with a nice sweet tea earlier there. And Frank does have that well going on in his column 6, so that's gonna cause a little bit of a struggle for him. He's gonna get the yellow blue to manufacture exactly what he needs, but yeah, it's gonna run him into a little bit of drop time there.
Yeah, however, he's working with this board, nonetheless, that he needs some red to open up that left side. The red yellows would be nice. However, he's just going to clear up that part and then just change the gears a little bit.
Yeah, on Packy's side, he's been getting some really good pills, and that's good because he was really facing down a color diversity well with his yellows, managed to get just what he needed to open up some yellows. And now, if he can get rid of, it looks like he's going to get rid of this blue. That's going to drop down the double yellow, but I think, yeah, he's
Yeah,
going to find a way to make that work and get the double blue or get the blue on the right hand side. So now he is down to just needing a lot of red and like one more yellow.
yeah. At this point, Paki wasn't too well. He wasn't worrying too much about that yellow. There were many ways to get out of that. As we see Frank getting out of 11 at 416. And Paki is waiting for the red. That's the name of the game at this point. But of course, the doctor doesn't provide it.
No, the doctor wants him to stay in the matrix, so he's not giving him any red pills. I had to stop and check to make sure that I had that right. Um,
I
so
was going to ask because I don't remember.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it right. Yeah, that's right. It is the red pill. So yeah, the doctor just wanted him to stay in the matrix. He's out at a 450. That is wow. Frank is just blazing through these levels right now. Um, and
Yeah.
this is the Frank we saw before finals of 2021 when he went undefeated in regular season play. Uh, he had a little bit of a hiccup there, but this is the Frank that we've been expecting to see more and more of.
Oh, yeah, and boy, he's been doing all of these setups. Sometimes you can see there that Frank likes to dance the pills because he's trying to figure out what to do with them. But that actually helps him as he finds the right moves to place it where he needs them and keep on trucking. As now we see that on, of course, he gets the double red. Wow, and gets the setup beautiful there.
On Packie's side, again, he's fighting as hard as he can to make this just an amazing match. Gets a great horizontal triple out of that. That was just awesome. But I mean, Frank is just a tidal wave here. You gotta wonder, is anybody, if he plays like this, can anybody stop him? I'm sure somebody can. And in fact, I mean, Packie isn't sitting at 0 and 2 here. He's sitting at 1 and 2, and that's important. He's managed to take a game off of him. We've seen Frank, have people take games off of him, but man, he's just playing like a man possessed right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Frank is going to be out at a 6-17 while Paki is trying to get out of this of this board. Now the pinpoint is to get the blues, and yeah, the doctor again not providing, and that's caused Paki to have a bit of situation there with that yellow. He manages to get the tuck, and now doesn't have to think about it. Okay, nice that he got that double yellow and that he used the blue on the left side. He's out just under 7 minutes.
Yeah. Still, I mean, these are good times. These are good times from Packie. These are great, just great times from Frank, and that's been the difference in this match so far. Frank just finding ways to be incredible. Packie, as good as he is, that was it. I've been on the other side of this. I've played Packie when he got hot times, and it's you look at the board and go, there was nothing else I could have done. And I hope he says that afterwards, because that there's nothing that he could have done. Frank is just plowing through these levels, and Packie is playing as good as Packie can, and that is a very, very high level of play indeed. This is just we're seeing Frank really, really put it to it here.
Yeah, and Frank going there for a setup to take both of those yellows at once. Uh, Boy, he has some extra sight there just to see how to bring this down, and he's out at 7:58. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, so Frank is inevitable. DM Hero just said that, so I'm assuming he means that he is Iron Man. So we'll see what DM Hero can do as Frank takes it in for um, Mackie. Clearly frustrated, but he's going to look back at this and go, "This was a really good match, and I gave everything I had," and that's all you can say. This has been a heck of a match for both these players, and GG's to both of them. This has really, really been some good play.
Yeah, definitely. And one can only wonder whether those technical issues also had something to say there on Pac side. I would hope that it's Pac's human, so of course that means that it might have just been slightly there, but nonetheless, he's bringing it, and yeah, as you say, just playing as good as he can, and he's going to be out at that 9-12. So yeah.
With a beautiful end game there.